Mark Hamilton and Jen O'Connor, Tom Edelstein with sports, and Craig Wicker with weather. And now, the news.
Hi, I'm Jen O'Connor.
And I'm Mark Hamilton. And today in the news, attacks by domestic and wild dogs are happening more frequent today. And here's Tisha Carter with more.
A string of attacks by dogs have been happening recently in the tri-state areas. In Pennsylvania, a Levittown fifth grader was mauled to death by a German Shepherd. In Trenton, New Jersey, a pack of wild dogs killed 8 tame deer and 2 chickens in an animal pen at Codwalder Park. And in Philadelphia, a 7-year-old boy was viciously attacked by a Rottweiler. The recent dog attacks have prompted concern by dog owners and breeders. Dave, a dog trainer at Beaver Dam K9 Food Service, had this to say.
Rotties are good dogs. The domestic bred in the United States is a good breed. That's another thing on how they're bred. You could take any dog, you breed 2 mean dogs together, you're going to produce a mean dog, whether it's a puppy or not.
Some owners have put up warning signs and placed heavier chains on their dogs. Hopefully, these measures will prevent future dog attacks. This is Tisha Carter reporting for Campus Heartbeat News.
Last Friday, the Student Entertainment Committee sponsored a Greek Unity dance for all Greek and non-Greek students on campus. The dance was in the pub of the Student Center. It went from 9 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. Free pizza and soda were served. The purpose for the Greek Unity Party was to show that there was unity amongst the Greeks at Rider. However, the party was not a success. Members from 2 fraternities, Alpha Phi Alpha and Phi Beta Sigma, got into a verbal confrontation. Fortunately, no one was hurt. The annual award scholarships have been awarded, and we recently spoke with the top recipient from the School of Science. Carlos Rodriguez has more on the story.
With the school year coming to an end, senior Gary Sirkin, a pre-med student, has been presented with 2 scholarships. Sirkin, who sports a 3.7 GPA, still manages to dedicate time to his favorite sport in which he competes in at Rider and has been part of several championship teams. This fall, however, he'll be facing his biggest challenge at the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. We certainly wish him the best of luck. This has been Carlos Rodriguez reporting for Campus Heartbeat.
Just last summer, Rider College's WRRC celebrated its 30th birthday with 3-year tower. For more on this story, here's Tom Edelstein.
WRRC turned 30 last summer and received what it always wanted from the school, a larger tower. This increases the range of the station, which means they'll be able to reach more listeners. But before concentrating on more listeners outside the campus, the station must first please the students. General Manager Patty Lewis explains.
Here at Rider, everybody here has very diverse tastes in music. A lot of people like rap, reggae, classic rock, and it's difficult. We have shows to please the masses, but we do try to, make the station better, please the students.
This has been Tom Edelstein for Campus Heartbeat.
Levittown WBCB has shown great interest in helping the handicapped. Here's Tom Del Silva with more.
At WBCB 1490 AM in Levittown, Pennsylvania, head engineer John Packard has his hands full for a good part of the day. But for him, it's always an extra effort.
I have had cerebral palsy since the day I was born, apparently caused by too much pain medication given to my mother at the time of birth. The doctors said that I would never be able to walk or talk or learn to do anything. I think I proved everybody wrong on that one.
What effect has cerebral palsy had on Mr. Packard as far as limiting his abilities?
Since I can't exactly climb towers or lift some of the heavier things, occasionally I've had to have a second person helping me in soldering or something like that. But for the most part, I've really learned how to push that aside. I can run a board as tight as anybody, despite the fact of only one good hand. And I can do most anything in terms of repairing broadcast equipment or setting up studios or whatever one might have to do. I really don't think of it that much because having not ever had a time when I didn't have it, I don't know any other ways. So to me, this is normal.
Hopes for the future include becoming chief engineer at a major market radio station and working on high-powered transmitters. He also would like to design broadcast equipment. What advice would Mr. Packard give someone with a handicap trying to pursue a career in broadcasting?
I'd say basically go for it. Don't let the handicap get in your way. If you can find some mentors, which is what I did, find some people who would take an interest in you and who would school you in some of this, that can be the greatest thing that can help you.
I'm Tom DeSilva for Campus Heartbeat.
With a little less than a week remaining, students are gearing up for what is usually referred to as the best weekend of the school year, Spring Fling. Carlos Rodriguez has the story.
Jamaica Me Crazy is this year's Spring Fling theme. However, students seem to be less than crazy about the 5 p.m. ending of the festivities. Writer-student Mark Lamper explains.
People go to other schools to party because this school is so bad. I mean, this is the only thing they have to offer, and it's going to close at 5 o'clock. I think it's pretty sad. And I mean, if you look behind me, that's all there is to offer here at Ryder right now, is volleyball games.
This is Carlos Rodriguez reporting for the Campus Heartbeat.
That's my dig in there, boy.
Well, when students return for their fall semester, they'll notice a difference on Ryder campus. This summer, Ryder College will do more renovation in the residence halls. The 2 buildings that were completed are Switlick and Conover. The next 2 buildings to go under change is Wright and Olson. These 2 buildings will be equipped with a kitchen, garbage rooms, and wall-to-wall carpet in the halls. Ryder is finally making a change in the residence halls. It may be a slow change, but soon Ryder's residence halls will be buildings of the future.
Residents living inside dorms equipped with new electric smoke detectors have a few complaints. The problem is that the dorm rooms with connected bathrooms have found that the steam from the showers has been triggering the alarms. The electronic smoke alarms were installed in the rooms in order to make each room safer. Maintenance is saying that the only solution is to have the residents take a cold shower.
A new addition on Route 1 is causing some problems. Stacy Belton has the story.
Guess what? Another shopping center has emerged on the already busy Route 1. The Windsor Green is its name, and although it's not yet been completed, it is already causing a stir. The Route 1 corridor has become even more congested with cars and trucks. And in addition to busier streets, competition for business between the new shopping center and existing area malls such as Quaker Bridge, Mercer Mall, and the Market Fair is definitely affecting business. This has been Stacy Belton reporting for Campus Heartbeat.
We'll be back with more news after this.
These engines was filled with Castrol Syntec, a synthetic oil, the rest with conventional oils. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec has a unique molecular structure that bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oil. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
What could be worse? Sometimes I feel like there's nothing worse than a yeast infection, except the cost of curing it.
Is there anything that costs less?
Less than Monistat 7?
If you've been looking for a cure that's just as effective but costs less, try FemCare.
The cure's the same, but the cost isn't.
FemCare is just as effective as Monistat 7, and doctors have trusted the ingredient in FemCare for over 15 years.
It's a real alternative.
Trust FemCare, the cure that costs less.
What could be better?
Hello, yes, we're back here, and so Jen, talk to me. What's next?
WRRC is coming up next.
Got it.
Come on.
Oh boy.
What are we doing? Spring is a time for cleanups and fresh new starts. This spring semester, the staff and employees of college radio station WRRC will be doing some cleaning up of the music library. Debbie D'Angelo reports.
Of the music library is being headed by the program director of WRRC, Anthony Coleman. He gives an explanation of the process.
Well, what exactly we're doing is that we're taking all the group section, most of the library is done, but it's the group section that has to be put in alphabetical order. There are letters mixed in with other letters.
The records that are removed from the music library are lined along the corridor walls. The work is shared by all DJs and staff members of the station. The working conditions for the DJs of WRC have changed some, but the station's DJs seem to be handling it rather well.
Actually, it's kind of convenient because if you want something, you just kind of run out there and there it is. But yeah, the only thing is, they're just all laying out in the hall. You don't know where anything is really.
This is Debbie D'Angelo reporting for the Campus Heartbeat.
Well, spring is in the air and the pollen is as usual. Not good for allergy sufferers. Here's Charnel Harvey with more.
Trees, daisies, grass, they all play a role in allergy season. People are constantly blowing their noses because of the pollen from the trees. Allergy season is in effect, so all of you allergy sufferers should keep plenty of allergy medication, eye drops, and tissue by your bedside. For the Campus Heartbeat, I'm Charnel Harvey.
Do you find it hard to enter the campus every now and again? It is because of black iron gates that block 2 of the 3 entrances. The main entrance by the mall has 2 gates that close at 10 p.m. daily. The other is by Conover Dormitory, which is rarely open at all. The south gate is guarded by security, and you need a parking permit to be allowed on campus after 10. These gates were erected 2 decades ago when a shooting occurred at ZBT fraternity. For the second time in 2 weeks, a space shuttle countdown came unglued in the final few seconds before launch. Computer data indicated a valve had not closed in the Discovery's main propulsion system, raising the danger of a hydrogen fuel spill and a possible explosion. However, engineers believe that the valve closed properly and that a faulty sensor switch or broken wire prevented that information from being received by the onboard computers. The 5-member crew of the shuttle had to exit the craft so the ship could be checked out. The crew spent the day reviewing flight data and flying training jets.
Finally, the Secret Sisters have received their letters. Phi Sigma Sigma is the newest sorority on Rider College campus. The sorority strives for diversity and sisterhood.
Phi Sigma Sigma is one of the newest sororities on Rider College campus. This sorority strives for diversity and sisterhood.
Phi Sigma Sigma is a new national Pan-Hellenic sorority coming to Rider College. 2 things that Sisters to Be was formed on was individuality and diversity, and they were the 2 things that Phi Sigma Sigma stood for.
You ladies are members of Phi Sigma Sigma.
Yes.
Could you state to me, what is sisterhood for Phi Sigma Sigma?
Well, I think sisterhood is definitely a special bonding between girls, and we're sisters. We get to know a lot about each other, care about each other, and just there for each other. And even though we might have somewhere around 40-something girls, we're one.
Okay. What do you stand for as far as sorority, like community service or?
Yeah, our theme is Aim High, and the 4 principles that Phi Sigma Sigma stand for are advancement of womanhood, sisterhood, philanthropic service, and academic achievement.
If you wanted to join Phi Sigma Sigma, how would you become a part of the organization? Ladies,
I guess if someone wanted to become part of Phi Sigma Sigma, they'd have to go through formal rush, whichever girl would want to go through formal rush would have to stop laughing at me. If a girl wanted to join Phi Sigma Sigma, she'd have to go through formal rush, and it's that rush begins 4 weeks into the semester, into the beginning of each semester, in the beginning of the fall semester and beginning of spring semester. And what they do is they rush all 4 sororities.
This is Tisha Carter reporting for Campus Heartbeat News.
Rider College has added to its fraternity row a new Latin fraternity named Lambda Theta Phi. This Hispanic fraternity strives for excellence and brotherhood and perseveres through the injustice of humanity.
Lorenzo Lopez, the president of one of Rider College's fraternities, talks about the history of his organization.
Founded on December 1st, 1975 at Kent College of New Jersey. Since then, other chapters have arrived at different campuses throughout the state of New Jersey. One of them being here at Rider College, which is known as Iota Chapter.
Tony Nieve, a member of the Lambda Theta Phi fraternity, also speaks about the qualities he seeks in men who are interested in his organization.
A person that is interested in our fraternity, we see if that person is personable, what kind of characteristics that person can add
fraternity, if it's positive, what can they do for our fraternities are main concern, and why would they like to be part of it? And also, is that...
This is Michael Davis reporting for Heartbeat News. In an effort to clear up the bad reputation the Greek organizations have received this year, the Phi Sigma Kappa fraternity held an Easter egg hunt for underprivileged Trenton children. All the fraternities and sororities on campus were welcome to attend and join in the community services. Over 50 children participated in this event, and it was a huge success. Monday night is a time when Rider College students go to the pub for beer and relaxation. This seems like a safe and secure place for social drinking after late night classes. A DJ is present with many TV sets for viewer attention, and security is at hand if any violence or disturbance may arise. With all this warm weather, we have been having more and more people have been spending time outside. Unfortunately, for all of us, school is still in session and there could be no dashing off to the far away places. What you can do is visit your local parks. There are plenty of things to do in a park, from finishing to Frisbee. It doesn't matter what you do, just as long as you have fun.
Looking for any trinkets for yourself or for a loved one? Here's Craig Wicker to tell us where to go if you want to buy some.
Inside the Student Center at Rider College, you can find many stands that sell little items that one may find useful. Completely independent from the college and themselves, these stands are erected 2 or 3 times a week for people from the Rider community to shop at. Many students and faculty enjoy shopping at these stands because of the reasonable prices. The prices one finds here are extremely different than those at a local mall. So the next time you're in the area, head to the Student Center at Rider College for various gifts that will delight your friends. This is Craig Wicker for the Campus Heartbeat.
It seems that college students are constantly busy. Many women find that they do not have time to do their nails. Well, Dawn Wallachewicz has found the perfect solution.
Inside Delta Phi Epsilon, you can find the talented Lisa Irachi, a marketing major who is also a licensed manicurist. She provides everything you need, including a large selection of nail polish, so your nails can go from this to this. Here's more from the manicurist in action.
Right now, I am putting a clear coat on Corey's nails. I just finished her nails. You know, she's happy, I think, and I'm happy because I made money and we're happy.
And Lisa's customers are satisfied, as one client explains.
If you're looking for someone with reasonable prices, does a good job, very convenient to reach, call Lisa, 895 Nails.
This is Dawn Wallachewicz reporting for Campus Heartbeat.
Just last Thursday, the Black Student Union sponsored a soul food dinner for the minority students of Rider College. The dinner was from 5 to 7 p.m. and it was held in the Student Center in the Fireside Lounge. A variety of food was served, such as fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, collard greens, and sweet potato pie for dessert. Many students were very pleased at the soul food dinner. They said it was like having a taste of home here at Rider College. As well as for minority students, the dinner was open to anyone who wanted to attend. Kevin Halley is a Rider College senior who has studied karate since he was in his early teens, and now he is a teacher and performer of the arts. Mark Hamilton reports.
Invaded the campus of Rider College. The innovator of this extracurricular activity is one of Rider College's own psych major, Kevin Hawley. Kevin Hawley talks about his dedication and how he got started in the field of martial arts.
I usually train for 3 hours a night, and I'm now a third-degree black belt. I was 8 years old when I started training. I guess I got involved in karate for the same reasons a lot of people do, for self-defense. When I was in school, I was smaller than most of the other kids, I was skinnier than a lot of the other kids, and I thought that I needed something to help me defend myself against the older kids at school. As I began to get more involved in karate, I found that there was a lot of fun to be had in competing. I've competed in karate tournaments for about 14 years. In 1989, I placed third in the national championships in Chicago. In 1990, I finished in the top 5 in New Orleans. And in 1991, I finished in the top 5 in Florida. I currently teach karate at Rider College here in Lawrenceville, and I have a club in Levittown, Pennsylvania. I think that karate can give people a lot of enjoyment through confidence, through the sport aspects and through the discipline that it requires.
And later explains the 3 types of movement in this area and the types of defense that you can use to protect oneself.
Some of the most important aspects of karate are the self-defense aspect, the form aspect, which in Japanese is called kata, which consists of a series of prearranged movements that deal with different attacks and your defense against those attacks and your response to the attacker. The forms look a little bit like a dance. They have a set sequence that you need to do them in, and if you lose your balance, if you break your proper rhythm of performing, if you omit any moves, then you're scored accordingly. The best kata performers in the country are some of the most physically coordinated athletes you'd ever want to see, similar to what ballet or gymnastics would require. The other aspect of karate that a lot of people are used to seeing is the sparring aspect. In traditional karate, it's called kumite, and the object is to score a blow that would have really hurt somebody had you not controlled it, as opposed to kickboxing, which is popular also, where the object is to not control the blow and hopefully knock your opponent out. The style of karate that I practice is a Japanese style called Shotokan, and we don't adhere to the belief of sport karate should be kickboxing. In our tournaments, the fighting matches are conducted.
This has been Michael Davis reporting for Campus Heartbeat. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, maybe the Eric Movie Theater has something for you. This movie theater located in Lawrenceville Shopping Center has the 2 latest movies of your enjoyment. One of them is Boiling Point starring Wesley Snipes, and the other is called Sandlot, starring lots of little children and a St. Bernard. Students pay only $3.50 with a student ID card. So if you're planning to sit home this weekend, change your plans, pick up a friend, and go see a movie.
The Latin American Student Organization sponsored a theater presentation entitled The Ox Cart. The play dealt with the tragedy of an old peasant and 3 generations of his family. It portrays the gradual loss of the family's dreams after moving from their homeland to New York in search of a better life. The Ox Cart is one of the many activities which has been coordinated and sponsored by LASSO this year, commemorating the contributions made by Hispanics throughout our nation's history.
The Rider College Game Room will be sponsoring a couple of tournaments this month. So grab a pool stick and enter the billiard room on April 23rd from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. or put that hand and eye coordination to the test in the video tournament on April 30th from 6 to 7 p.m. All students are encouraged to attend both tournaments, so good luck to all players. Rider continues to provide to its students, faculty, and staff, and this time it's a free of charge. It's called Teamwork Dance. This Saturday at 8 p.m., one of the main highlights will be a revival of Art Deco. Teamwork Dance has been known to perform sold-out shows, so be sure to get your tickets. Coming up next, we will have students speaking on the advantage of taking communications at Rider.
Landers, a student at Rider, talks about communication.
Major at Rider College, and my track is radio and television. In the communications field, there's a number of tracks you can pick at Rider College. You can do public relations, journalism, speech, and radio and TV like myself. I have a radio show at the station, which is WRRC in Lawrenceville. And what I do is I just try to pick new and unusual songs that you maybe wouldn't hear on another radio station, try to give them airplay. And at Rider, I think the communications department is helpful in that they give you opportunities for internships in many areas, and you don't necessarily have to be a communications major.
This is Tisha Carter reporting for Campus Heartbeat News.
Auto theft has been going on ever since Ford began producing the Model T through the revolutionary assembly line. Decade after decade, it has been getting worse, and some experts, as well as citizens, are beginning to wonder if it's ever going to slow up. The answer is no. It is still getting worse with the development of carjacking. This crime consists of the victim being held up at gun or knife point and seeing the car go down the road. This makes it much easier on the thief because he does not have to break into the vehicle. Some tips to avoid carjacking is to park in a well-lit area, have your keys ready, and check under your car before you begin to get in.
50 years ago, Trenton saw the birth of WTTM 9020 AM. For more on that story, here's Patrick Ewing.
WTTM was born in 1942. It started out as a community station doing a lot of ethnic and religious broadcasting. Country music was also a big part of their format. 51 years later, that format has changed, and it's like they're starting all over again. WTTM is now an all-talk, news, and information station. But in a market such as Trenton's, which is in between New York and Philadelphia, WTTM realizes they must do something different in order to get ahead and stay there. Program Director Dan Shaw explains.
And we can bring the local community to the airwaves. Philadelphia and New York is not going to have local programs about Mercer County, about Burlington County and Bucks County the way we are. And so we've got talk show hosts who come in, sit down and bring in community leaders, things that are happening in the community, and you're not going to get that anyplace else.
Reporting for Campus Heartbeat, I'm Patrick Ewing.
Heroin has made an astonishing and frightful comeback, showing up on streets across New Jersey in amounts not seen in 20 years and in levels of purity that are unprecedented according to federal officials. The result has been a rash of overdoses and a growing population of zombie-like users, some of whom are as young as 14 years old. As more and more heroin enters the country, the demand continues to soar, and the more potent heroin leads to a quicker addiction. Officials say that a factor contributing to the heroin rise is that it is now more economical than crack. We'll be back with sports and weather after these messages.
Buy an international business class seat, and that's what you get. So what's the difference? Continental's new Business First. With the room and comfort of a true sleeper seat. The luxury of international first class, but at a business class fare. Continental's Business First. The business class to Europe that's truly first class. That's the difference.
When some things are natural, you know it. That's the same philosophy I apply to my chickens. I've raised a unique breed with more breast meat than ever before. The only way I know how, naturally. Purdue chickens grow up healthy, eating a diet of wholesome natural foods like golden corn and marigold petals. I'd never add anything unnatural to enhance a Purdue. Why tamper with perfection?
Well, Tom, so tell us what's going on in sports today. What about that Patrick Ewing game?
Patrick Ewing was just flying. First, we're starting with the Bronx, and they just had a great season. Here's Roland Davis with more.
The Rider Bronx had a tremendous season, finishing first to capture the NEC championship and a berth to the NCAA. Unfortunately, they were beaten by Kentucky, which ended their season. Many fans are looking forward for next season to be a more exciting one than the last, even though the Bronx will be without their superstar, Derek Suber, who is graduating. I asked assistant coach Don Harnum, who will step up next season to fill the gap left by Derek Suber and graduating seniors. This is what he had to say.
Well, the loss of Derek Suber is certainly going to hurt our program. Anytime you lose 2,400 career points, it's difficult, but we lose one player, and in a sense we're adding three. We had a redshirt freshman this year in Antonio Stapleton, who as a staff we're all very high on. We had a kid sitting out this year from Butler who transferred, who's going to play a little bit of Derek's spot, the two guard, and we're very happy with the player that we signed out of Philadelphia, a kid by the name of Charles Smith, who's a 6'6" forward. So, yeah, it's going to be weird without Derek and the go-to guy, but in the same sense, I think we're going to have a much more balanced team, and in the long run, I think we're going to be better than people are going to give us credit for being, or that are going to anticipate us as being.
DeMar Jones, a forward, had a great season and promised next season to be a better one.
This year was a pretty good year for us. We accomplished a lot. We won the NEC championship and went to the NCAA tournament. We can't be relaxed on this year upcoming because we have a lot more to accomplish. We got a lot of people coming at us this year because we were the new kid on the block last year, and we were the first. It was our first year in the tournament, and we won it. So we have a lot to prove and a lot to come back for, and a lot of strides to make.
The Bronx Zoo is empty and quiet for now, but next season the bleachers will be filled with the Zoo fans cheering on their team to victory. Suber and the Bronx had a great season, and I'm waiting patiently for another explosive season at the Bronx Zoo. This is Roland Davis reporting for Campus Heartbeat.
The 99th Penn Relays were celebrated this past weekend at the University of Penn. Many of the national collegiate powerhouses were in attendance, such as Villanova and Arkansas. However, the big surprises were made by several unsuspecting participants, such as riders Raymond Broach and Jose Lopez. Broach, a freshman, finished 6th in the 100-meter dash, and Lopez won his section at the 400-meter hurdles. Riders' baseball team had a fairly successful week as the Bronx swept Mount St. Mary's in a doubleheader, but lost to Rutgers 8-2. Pitching stars for the Bronx against the Mount were Jim Schlatter and Rob Gontowski. The two wins put Riders' record at 500 for the first time this year. Against Rutgers, the Bronx got down early and couldn't come back despite a 4-for-4 hitting performance by Riders' Butch Bellinger. Riders' next game is against Monmouth. Trout season officially began Saturday with thousands of happy fishermen gathered around lakes, streams, and brooks throughout New Jersey hoping to catch the big one. Several weeks ago, state officials stocked the state's water system with over 500,000 trout. This gave the fish time to reproduce and grow. Already there are reports of the big one getting away. If you haven't heard by now, Dale Hunter has been suspended for 21 games and fined $150,000. There's no excuse for what Hunter did to the Islanders' Pierre Turgeon following his clinching goal against the Capitals. What did he do? He did this and knocked Turgeon out of action with a separated shoulder. All eyes focus on a new commissioner, Gary Bettman, to see what message he would send. 21 games and $150,000. I hear you, Gary.
Paid to this player will amount to more than all of the supplemental discipline handed out to all NHL players for the 92-93 season. If this isn't a severe penalty, then I apologize, but I'm not sure what is.
All right, now let's look at some baseball scores. Last night we saw the Royals crushing the Orioles 17-0. Rangers beating the Brewers 2-1, Yankees outlasting Detroit 6-5, and the Angels beating Boston 4-2. And that's sports.
Well, Tom, thank you for that little sports.
Oh, well, you're quite welcome, Mark.
Hey, yeah. We'll be back with Wicker. Yeah, what's up with the weather?
I don't know, a lot of crazy things going on with the weather. How's everybody doing out there in TV land? Okay, it's going great. Everybody thought you're going to have to put away your raincoats and your heavy coats and everything. Not just quite yet, though. We're getting a lot of rain, a lot of cold weather coming our way. So just hold on. If we can go to the presently right now, we got a lot of crazy things going on. Get going now. Presently, we have current temperatures at 40 degrees. Humidity is at 86%. The barometer, 29.99 and on the rise. Winds at 97 at, 7 miles an hour in the northeast. And the water down the seashore is at 33 degrees. If we can move to the satellite now, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Don't put away those heavy coats. You can see there, we have a lot of clouds moving up towards our Delaware Valley here. It runs about 300 or 400 miles inland from the Florida Keys all the way up on the Nova Scotia in Canada there, and on out to the Atlantic Ocean. So a huge, massive clouds, humongous massive clouds. Now let's go to the local temperatures around here. 36 in the hometown of Trenton, 38 a little north of Allentown, 38 in Reading, 41 in Wilmington, and it was 40 to 52 degrees in Philadelphia. Let's take a walk down the path, check out the 5-day forecast if we could. A lot of good things happening here. The rain is at 42 degrees, is on Thursday with a little rain. Same goes for Friday. We're going to drop 5 degrees, but thunderstorms as well. But as we start on Saturday, the sun will break out around midday, so partly sunny, 40 degrees. Mostly sunny on Sunday, beautiful day, 45 degrees, and in the next week, it'll start getting really nice, sunny and 55 degrees. So a lot of great things going to be happening for us within the next week, but just hold on, and come Saturday, we'll be fine. And it'll just be just great then. Back to you, Mark.
Hey, thanks for that little weather update. So how's the Little League going?
The league's going great. We're 40-1.
Get out of here.
Championship.
I'm glad. Okay, be sure to head over to the Ryder Art Gallery located in the Student Center to check out the images and ideals of Bernarda Bryson Shawn, where the paintings will be on display throughout the month of April. There you'll find her popular paintings of mannequins and other figures draped in white, not to mention her many other interests in beautiful paintings. This is one exhibit you don't want to miss. Thank you for tuning into this edition of Campus Heartbeat. I am Mark Hamilton.
And I'm Jen O'Connor.
And from the whole staff, have a nice evening. So, yeah.